G'day, it's Jared Webb here, CEO at Webdrill. I'm here with
Mike Ayris from Downhole Surveys. I'm the founder of Downhole Surveys, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with Jared.
Yes, I guess going back to the beginning, I can't remember when it was. It was perhaps early 2000s when we first met.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yeah.
And I recall it was at Diggers and Dealers.
Yep.
Yep. One of those exhibition shows that we all attend, and early discussions about you forming a drilling company and starting with these wonderful drill rigs. So, and here we are now with how many rigs have you got? You're,
about 12 now.
12. Amazing.
Yep. So I guess, tell us a bit about how you founded Downhole Surveys.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. So Downhole Surveys first began in 1989. I was a draftsman drawing plans, drawing very curved holes from original surveys, and looked into it, and there was nobody doing that service in 1989. So started with a film-based camera. People still call survey tools cameras even today. They're not a camera, but we've moved on a lot since then. It's now an electronic instrument. And yeah, I've grown the business over 30 years, and it's now owned by Divi Cloud in Norway. And I'm still maintaining, working within the business. So,
I remember those early cameras from the 90s. I remember the Eastman. The film Combinol in the Combinol.
The single shot camera.
The single shot camera. Yeah.
You could always tell when a driller was likely to be not the nicest person to visit if there was little single shot discs all the way around on the ground. That's usually a sign of trouble.
Yeah. Yep. Fun times.
So we're. Our development has grown substantially. The survey tools that we're now using, they are Devico branded tools, and we have just over 100 kits in the field at the moment. And really very fortunate in the fact that these tools are so reliable and dependable. We don't have them coming back into the workshop with failures. And with some of this new technology, we can view online. We can see if the tools are having problems or not, and that gives a lot of satisfaction to the clients in the field as well.
Yeah, I know the QA, the drillers at the rig and the QA/QC, they're a fan of that. On the little,
Yeah, well, it's pretty much green pass, red fail. So it's an instant update. It gives you information that tells you there's something going on. And we have it, both myself and Ben Gillies. He's based in Kalgoorlie, and as nerdy as it may sound, we check daily these results. And we have a bit of a competition to see who's going to be the fastest to rectify the problem, and it's usually Ben actually.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's good. Yeah. So it's been, and I think that's the personal approach we take. We look at every tool that's in the field. We make sure it's going as it should.
Yeah, you've got a great team. I've heard nothing but great feedback from the guys out there. So
it's a small team. There's only 8 of us operating now, and it's very manageable with only 8 people, and every one of the staff in the company are totally dedicated to the cause. It's excellent.
Yeah, you can see it reflects out in the field. Everybody knows everyone. Everyone's fast to respond. So yeah. So I've got one question for you, or one of the many questions is, perhaps to educate the industry on the speed of this tool and the accuracy and the size of it.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jared. I think there's been a lot of changes in technology, not just in survey instruments. If you look back in mobile phones, when I started the company, the mobile phone was the size of a brick, and it really was. It was the brick, and funny thing, that's still got some of the best range you could get. But now, through microprocessors and through electronics development, these chips are tiny. The new survey tool that we're running is so small, it's almost the size of a pencil, pretty much, and running a very small battery. Compare that back to when we first started in 1980s. You'll be carrying a 20 kilogram tool, and it was massive, and it would record very small data. So with the development of electronics, these survey tools are becoming more precise, becoming smaller, they're lighter, they're more robust, and you put all that into a survey tool operate on a drill rig in an underground environment, and you have something that's going to last, and that's what's really changed. Is we just don't have failures that we used to have.
Yeah. And it's not the fact that you've got it in the overshot now. That's had a big step change for us in our.
Yeah, absolutely. The survey is now a part of the drilling process. Previously, drilling companies would log and bill time for survey. Now it's part of the drilling process, and it's basically non-billable time. And we're seeing right across the board between a 6 to 10% productivity increase, because there's more time with the bit spinning, and less problems with resurveying.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that in our business. Yeah.
Oh, that's huge. I mean, if you multiply that across every drill rig that's drilling, adding 10% for no additional cost, it's a big step change.
And the accuracy too. Yeah.
Yep. The survey method that we have introduced is to survey in and out, and being a continuous tool, it's taking 10 shots per second, so huge amounts of data.
10 shots per second.
Yep, that's what it's recording. And you're stopping briefly over a time. You get using gyro drift updates, and we're surveying typically the drillers are surveying typically every 30 metres, and each survey is a new survey, so it starts from zero. So if you're drilling, say, a 120 metre hole, you would survey 30, 60, 90, and then you're building up the data, and then at the end of the survey, or the end of the hole, you average all the data together, and you have a very, very precise location of that hole.
Yeah, I don't think people understood that, so I'm glad you said that point. Yeah, each time you're doing a whole hole survey,
that's right. Yeah,
as you get, you're not tagging on.
That's right, and that allows us to check if one run, and occasionally the runs are not as good as they should be. There's various reasons for that, and we can check it and make sure that the final data is the very best it can be.
Yeah. Nice.
I always say you really discover if your survey tools are accurate or not when you drill a breakthrough hole, and the mine surveyor goes down and surveys that breakthrough hole. That's the true locator finder. We've done plenty of those over the years. Absolutely.
Nice.
So Jared, I have a question for you. There are other survey companies in Australia or in the world actually. So what made you choose us?
Yeah, good question, Mike. Look, as you said previously, 1989. It's a long time to be in the industry, and as far as I'm aware, there's no other survey company that's been around as long as you guys. I've always bumped into you at all the conferences, from diggers to the RIU, and honestly, the feedback I should probably give is that, when I did come to you and ask you for information, then it was there and back within 12 hours. You're highly responsive. I guess for me it has to be easy, and I believe that people do business with people, and if it's not easy, then make a change.
Well, thank you. And I think one of the other sort of key parts of our business, and the reason why I'm still doing it 30 years on, is I love developing new things and improving systems, and it can be a smallest thing that needs improving. For example, the counter that we use, it's an electronic counter. It is waterproof, but like all instruments, they'll wear out if they get hit by water constantly. So we moved it from the front of the drill rod to put it on the winch, and that's just a very small product development, but constantly looking at ways to improve things. That's what we like to do.
That's what I like. You always, the same. I see similarities in our two businesses. You're always looking to do things better. How can we do it better? How can we do it better? If you don't come to work each day to make the place better, then you're not having a crack.
I think it'd be pretty boring.
Yeah.
You just sat and did the same thing every day in and day out. Yeah,
but it reflects in the products. You do see it. Yeah. I guess for people out there, I don't think they realise that when I started, there was like 3 or 4 cases to a survey tool that you had to put on the back of the ute in the old days, in the 90s. These days it's a lot smaller.
There was a tool which was very successful. It's known as the Divi Flex. It was a 3 metre long tool, and one of the complaints we had was that it's too heavy and too long. So we've now reduced the tool, and the tool we use is this big. It's tiny. So from 3 metres to that size tool, and that's allowed us to really expand in the surveying marketplace now.
Yeah. So just one question that I think can help educate some of the mining companies out there. Would you be able to tell us a bit about the Divi Cloud and how it interacts with the Divi Aligner and the Divi Gyro?
When we're quoting on these survey tools, it's more than just a survey tool. We're quoting a survey system, and the survey system is made up of 3 components. So the first one is the survey tool, the gyro itself, which we run in and out of the drill hole, and that gives us the path of the hole. And then we have the Divi Aligner. So the Divi Aligner is the product that is placed on the drill rig to set up, and also then to check the collaring of the hole. And that's a fibre optic gyro. And the data is transferred from a cloud-based system, and the cloud is where the geologist will plan the holes. The survey data is merged in there, as well as the collar setup. So there's data flowing in and out of the cloud, and it's a very critical part of the system that we provide. And the feedback we're getting from geologists is that they really like being able to see what's happening, and it's transparent. Where we can go in and we can review the data and see that everything is going well. And one of the aspects of the cloud is that it's visible from the geologist at his desk anywhere in the world. It can be visible through our Divi Help Centre, which can be in Norway. So if there's anything specific that we can't fix here in Australia, they can help us. And then in the background, the Divi Cloud has been constantly updated, constantly improved. There seems to be no end to what we can add into this. As an example, it was released last week where geologists can now input a fence, if you like, around a drill hole. So if that hole goes outside of that fence, there is an alert. So we'll say, okay, the hole's gone 3 metres away from where it should be. So that's handy in pilot holes. Likewise, we can now plan a curved hole as well. So previously it was always survey just planning azimuth and dip. Now it's coordinates, so the coordinate can be a curved or bent hole.
That's really impressive. Wow.
That's leading into directional drilling. Now the future that I see for the industry, for the drilling industry, is going to be, I think, directional drilling, and directional drilling to very specific planned paths or points. And so with that in mind, the software that's been developed, it has already got those features in there.
Wow.
And one of the other key things that we're seeing in underground is Wi-Fi underground and 5G networks. And once we have that across a number of underground mine sites, then we can start seeing live data being transferred through the cloud from the drill rig back to the geologist. And that's quite exciting.
It is. It'll be a game changer. Yep. I know there's a few mines in Europe that are already doing it. There's a few around,
Yes, and there's a few in Australia. We're starting to see Wi-Fi is becoming very commonplace, and I'm sure for your company, being able to access the drill rig and see what's going on electronically could be quite exciting.
So tell us what to add to that, how the cloud and the aligner and the tool actually get information across.
Okay, so the cloud, we'll start with the cloud. The cloud is essentially a computer storage database. So the geologist would plan his drill holes and then save that to the cloud. And then the aligner, which is setting the drill hole up, they would download the data from the cloud onto the handpad, and then that would be transported underground. Then align the hole, save that data to the handpad, and then once that handpad comes into Wi-Fi communication, it goes back up to the cloud. So that's now the whole setup. When you're doing the survey of the hole, the initial setup is downloaded back from the cloud to the handpad to survey. So, and then once the survey is done, it goes back up to the cloud. So it's a complete cycle and it's a process. And it may sound a little bit complicated, but once you get that system running, it runs very seamlessly.
And I think the key point there to jump in is that it takes one less step for a human error for getting the coordinates entered incorrectly.
Yeah.
Which I see as a huge benefit.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it really is important to follow that sequence of events, and not to try and short circuit it. You know, we do see some sites, not your sites, but some sites who are trying to do things different, and we keep saying no. Follow the system, follow the process. Yeah.
It's there for a reason. Yeah, and from all accounts, feedback I've got, it's so easy to use. It's not funny.
Exactly.
It's
Really
well, that's easy.
One of the developers in Norway was asked a question that. Do people who are conducting these surveys need to be qualified? And the whole part of that is when you develop a system, you want to make it as simple as possible so that it can be in the hands of non-survey professionals. We're talking drillers, yeah.
Driller proof.
We want to make it driller proof.
Is there such a
make
thing?
it simple. There is, and I'm happy to say that every day these surveys being done and they're very high quality.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, thanks, Mike. Thanks for your time today and allowing us to come into this workshop to shoot. And I just want to say, enjoy working with you and your team. It's always a pleasure and it's always easy. So, I'm really looking forward to continuing working with you long into the future.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. It's been a real pleasure.